Hey Bradith, hey Seth, how's it going? You're welcome. Give me a minute, still getting set up here. I don't even know if you can hear me. Okay. Want me to do a test that sounded decent? Chat box up. Alright, looks like we're good. So... Alright. I'm gonna make sure camera's good. And away we go. So, yeah, this should be a lot more chill compared to last week. Although, apparently you guys really liked the stream last week. I'll probably do some more attempts for Omen bosses, like, next week. We'll see how it goes. Well, actually, probably not next week. I'm probably not going to be streaming next week because it'll be Turkey Day. So, probably 2 weeks. Give me a little bit of a break. Hey Ricardo, welcome to the stream. Alright, so we're picking this up where we gotta go talk to Kupipi. Kupipi's Dilemma. So, and yeah, looking like we definitely want to be on Thief for this, if you're going to be doing this mission, because you get to be doing the Crawler's Nest Rollin' Berry path thing. I don't even know what you call that, but... Oh, look, a Puguru. It's Shantato. What? He's dressed up like a Puru. Adventurer who's worked with you many times before, but... yeah, what's going on here? I didn't agree to anything. I asked for more details. Not that I wouldn't have agreed, so... That was like 2 months ago, not a few days. that makes a little more sense. Can I get that at the guild? Okay. Huh. All right. This is odd. So let's see if there's a place to get the red grass cloth. Nope. Looking like auction house only. I mean, you could craft it. It's a low level craft, but I don't have crafting level. $16, but that's... Alright, so you can buy the two things, and then where do I get this? It's the flower petal, or whatever, the dream flower petal. Get it by killing... Luckily, we can warp out because it's on Port Go. Isle. Saying that. Oh, my sis didn't sell. So what was it? It was a red grass cloth. He had Gudo drink. Oh, she's skyrocketed in price yet. Talk about profit. Might be able to buy a Yagudo drink, so... Oh, whatever, got it here. Alright. Right on the right. I think so. What do you mean, what is this about Mog Gardens and jobs? So Mog Garden is just something you can do if you have like Adeline. There's a couple other prerequisites. But there's nothing major. And it's basically a way that you can do, like, you can get fish, you can get, like, all the stuff you can do from, like, harvesting and stuff, all in, it's like your own personal garden. The big thing is that why I'm doing it is for two big reasons. One, it unlocks monster rearing. And monster rearing is a way you can just raise monsters. And that in of itself I normally wouldn't care about, but you can actually get decent things from monster rearing. Like you can, all kinds of different abilities. You can like get capacity bonuses. You can only have one of these equipped at a time, but you can get them all and change which one's equipped at a time. But it can buff your trusts, and you know there's various different things like that, which is the main reason I want it. And then also you have to max out your Mog Garden as one of the prerequisites to do the, I think it's Yagnus Directive, if I'm saying that right. But it's basically so you can unlock Yagnus, which is a really good White Mage Trust. It's a lot of work, though, for all that. So... is it you who teleports? No. So I'm just gonna be going over Mog Garden. I already have it leveled up, but there's not a lot to it, so it's just a matter of doing it every day. It doesn't take a lot of time. Alright, so we're looking for these guys. And so apparently it can drop the thing after it does Dream Flower. Scary thing is, let's see, I'm gonna kill it in one hit. No, but pretty much should have. I'm shocked you're hitting me. I don't think I have any other evasion, although my evasion's already going to be too much. I guess let's get some more. What's going on is I'm trying to get an item, and they have to do a TP move before I can get the item. And you need to do this for the mission, apparently. I'm just following the guide online about this, so... I mean, there is stuff, but it's not specifically for jobs, but it is stuff that, like, boosts things. And like I said, you get that through monster rearing. And you can't do monster rearing until you've leveled up your Mog Garden enough, so... Any more Mandies? Yeah, there we go. They're right up here. It's not hard to do, but it's time consuming is the big thing about it. So, basically after you've done enough, you need to go to a Mog skipper who you're going to find in one of the, like, city ports. Since I'm in Windurst, I always go to Port Windurst. It's right by the fishing guild. There's apparently one in Adeline, too. You talk to them, and they will give... you'll have a key item you can buy from him that upgrades a certain section of your Mog Garden. When I go over Mog Garden stuff, I'll show it, because I check it every day just to see if I can level something up, so that way I'm trying to move on to the next step. So, it's easy, but it's annoying that it's like, you go off to your Mog Garden, which is supposedly out in the Adeline area, then you gotta go to, you know, a different zone to go buy a key item. It's kind of crazy. Yeah. No, I was confused too. I actually was able to rank all my stuff up, I think almost everything to rank 3. When I finally found that out, because I was like, I've been doing this for so long, I'm like, I feel like it should rank up. And then come to find out, it's like, that's what I was doing wrong. Luckily, if you've been doing it every day and haven't seen it rank up, you're not losing that progress. So in theory, you might be able to go, if you've been doing it enough, and get all the way up to rank 4 or something like that. But of course, you're not getting as much good stuff, if that even matters. Because I don't even bother with that. I basically, at this point, NPC everything. Just because in the interest of time. Okay, I haven't seen a single TP move. How is that the case? I've been getting hit a fair amount of the time. Okay, there's a TP move finally. Alright, so we gotta go in. I mean, dude, the thing about it is I don't think that works, but even if it does, as soon as you get hit, you're gonna stand back up. So, I mean, you could just stand there and keep doing it. That's why I'm just rather gathering as many of them as I can. Ah. So, what's gonna be really crappy is if this is not a 100% drop after they do the thing. We'll see, though. Where's... HP starts getting low, I can throw one. I want ambuscade gear for regen. I don't want to cross the water. Scared I'll lose them. Diaga would oh, there we go, Dreamflower. Oh, wait. There it is, nice. Cool. So, don't know if it's 100% drop or not, but, I got it on my first one, so, yeah. Alright, cool, so that's done that farming part. Let's go trade all these stuff back in. It's looking like if I'm gathering off of this, it's not 100% drop, but... I am up to the new, doing the new story mission stuff that was just released this update. So it's only 2 steps. It's this quest, and then I haven't looked at what the next thing is. But, yeah. They're releasing a little, they're supposedly releasing stuff every month, like a little bit new stuff for the missions, but last month they didn't release anything, so. But that's what we're up to, Ryan. No, I know Mog Mans is gonna come out, and I'm gonna do a video on that. That'll probably come out Saturday. So I'm probably look it over and record it this weekend or tomorrow. But I haven't looked at what the items are. What like new items are you referring to? Is it more like cosmetic stuff that has, you know, some like nice features like re-raise or raise or stuff like that? Oh, that's already been out. I'm just throwing that out as an example. Alright, so where's this flower petal thing? Is it at the bottom? No. Where? Am I crazy? There it is. Fast Blade 2? Huh. Alright. I mean, the thing about it is, I mean, it's likely gonna be, you're saying Fast Blade 2. I would think it's going to be on a weapon that's like more of a cosmetic weapon, so I think it's going to be more for style. I don't know. I haven't looked at it. Like I said, I'll look it over and give my thoughts. What you need the egg? Excuse me, yeah, Gudo drink. Weird things going on with these beastmen and all this stuff. Alright, so after that, yeah. Into the cutscene. And then we get to head out to Crawler's Nest. So in theory, you could skip all this just by going and buying a Roland Berry 864, but we'll go through. We'll hop through the hoops anyway. 'Cause it's probably ridiculously expensive anyway. We'll take a peek and see how much. Sad part about it is I've done this before for other things, and that's not 100% drop. So I guess we'll bring a stack. It's Roland Thief. All right. Hey Max, welcome to the stream. So, where can you buy? Well, let's go. No. Let me just hit this to see the prices. But, okay. Food, I'm guessing it's ingredients. Let's see how much these have jacked up in price if they're even here. So, which ones do you need? There's no stacks. How much are people up charging this? Not that bad. So you'll go from the regular to 881, then to the 874, then the 864, then the 854. That's what you need is the 854. And you're 6 up. Ha! Too much. Oh well. I wonder if those were real prices. I mean, obviously the first one wasn't. It was someone selling it to themselves. The second one was the same person to the same different person twice, so. $1 million gil to skip that step. That's not worth it. Alright, 1 stack should be enough. Let's head out to Crawler's Nest. Actually, wait a second. I hope this is like fast turnaround spawns, because what am I going? Durf. I think I'm going the right way to J9. I believe it's all the way back here. Or no, it's not. It's in this room. How was I thinking it was all the way in the back? Alright, that's sweet. No wait time and can just keep popping them. You just gotta wait for it to de-pop, but move over to it too for faster claims. Alright, this isn't gonna be as bad as I was scared it was gonna be like minute wait times. Yeah, I don't remember exactly I mean, you get the higher rolling berries, but I mean, I think you need it. You need the whatever number rolling berries, and there's different ones and used for different quests. So I remember doing it way back in the day, and then I also did it again recently for something. And luckily, I had like another numbered rolling berry already. I think just from turning in goblin keys and getting it. So. automatically taking attack. I don't know why that like clicks off like that, but at least I'll finish all my conquest stuff doing this. Alright, so where... Gotta clean up my inventory. Okay, it's right there. 2 below. Maybe it was for artifact armor? I'm trying to think which job. Be an obscure one if it is, but maybe. You need to keep jumping around for Water of Love. I've done that on a bunch of streams, but what I do is the islands, basically like where you would fight the gods if you're on regular Sky. Just keep using the bivs to jump around to each of those, the 4. And by the time you cycle around, the UFO should be up on the first island by the time you do the other 3. So that's what I find is the best way to farm it, is that it's also the islands where you would get the other warders for the torques, the magic torques. I don't know how else to explain it, but that's what I find is the best way to go about doing that, is just jump to those 4 islands. If you have all the bivs, I believe you can just, if you're using a controller, or you could probably do it on your keyboard also, you can just hit to the right, so it like skips down the list, and it should be just I can't remember. If you're at the first one, if you do that, you're going to be 1 below, but if you have the first one, like you're at another one, it should go. And then the next one would just be 2, so it's like every 3 is the thing. Like I said, it's going to be wherever the God Island is. Alright, last one. Alright, so now... H7. I think this is... It's not saying on the wiki. I think it's down below. So now there's several baskets down here. So yeah, that's what I thought. Really? The name was gone. Shining One's good, except for... I was disappointed too when I first using it, but it actually is good. You need to be using it at 300 TP. So typically Samurai and Dragoon are gonna be getting the best use out of it. If you're not using it at 300 TP, it does it's lackluster compared to what you'd expect. War can get some good use out of it, but not as much as Sam and Dragoon from my experience. If you also don't have the gear to back it up because you really want to focus on critical hits, that's where you're going to be maximizing your damage. So it is really good, but like I said, you have to be using it right. But yeah, I agree. The axe is ridiculous on war. Just decimation spam and you just do ridiculous damage. This is nice that you don't have that wait time. And so far it's been 100% drop. I know they're not, at least later on, it's not 100% drop. Plus, we might make a little bit of money off this anyway. They're selling 1 million. They're not really selling for 1 million. If they're selling for 50K each, it's a little bit of money. Yeah, it is hard trying to solo everything. I solo pretty much everything except for like Ambuscade, and now of course Dynamis Divergence to get groups for. Outside of that, I don't really do much. I'm gonna have to start building a group soon though to do some of the bosses to get some Aeonics. I know, and I've done it before on my main. I've either soloed or duoed everything except for Warder of Courage. Except for Warder of Courage. Whatever was it? Kyryu, Kirin, and then all the tier 4s. The tier 4s in Ryzen Jima though. You definitely need a group for that. There's just some of those you just have ads, and there's just nothing you can do about it. You gotta have either a tank so they can just tank it all, or you gotta have some type of CC. So it's the way the fights are set up. I mean, there might be 1 or 2 of them you could solo or duo, but considering there's 7 of them, there's at least like 5. You're gonna need at least 3 or 4 people to manage it. At least I haven't seen a way. I would be impressed to see it done. Although there are videos of like red mages soloing Warder of Courage. Although I haven't seen anyone do Kirin. But the problem with Kirin is you get all the god ads. So. Alright, so where are we off to next? So we could do Matron or Queen Crawler. Which one's closer? F7 D7. So I guess they're both here. Wait, what? And so far I got 100% drop rate. I'm using Thief though, so. Oh, this is fun. This is where we get extra crawlers. What? Alright, well then. You aggro? This doesn't seem right. So, there's no basket there. So I gotta go back up. I think maybe I do. Do remember you gotta like run all the way across the zone. Odd. What do you mean assist chats? I mean, assist has been in the game forever. Basically, unless you're talking about something else, like you would use assist in two different ways. One would be if you're doing something like Dynamis and you want all your DDs to get onto one thing, you would assign a designated tank who's gonna, pick which mobs you're gonna go on, and then you would use /assist space whatever the character's name is that you're assisting, and then it's gonna target the will target the mob that person's on. So that's one way assist works. The other way it works is to say you have a lot of people and you're doing like the biggest thing I can recommend, or one this was used for, was like during Kieran fight. If you were kiting Kieran way back in the day, 75 days, if you target Kieran and then type /assist, it'll then target which player who's at the top of the hate list. So that way, if he's, the mob's running around and you don't know who has hate and who best to try and cure or buff or do something like that, targeting the mob and then typing /assist will then show you who has hate and who the mob's chasing. So outside of that, I'm not sure what you're referring to. Yeah. It can be quite tedious. Just all the running around. Yeah, and people would like train a bunch of crawlers and other stuff. I remember more so the zone getting shut down was the Citadel. Remember just bats, Citadel bats, and was it funnel bats? I think it's a new chat channel. I mean, this is all the same stuff that's been there. Say, tell, party, 2 link shells, unity, and shout. There's yell also, but man, didn't need all of these. Might have been fine with just 6. Yeah. Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad you're enjoying the videos there, Matthew. Oh, that's news to me. I don't know anything about it. Assisty, well, here. See if we can find any info out about this. Really? It's some new type of chat. I don't even know. I don't know. I might have to look up what it is and maybe make a video about it. This is news to me. You guys are showing me stuff I'm not even aware of. I mean, so that's the thing. So if someone uses it, like, who's seeing it? Like, I'm saying it here. No one ended up responding. What's the E? I don't know. I'm sure someone knows something about it. I'll do research and find out. But yeah, I don't know. Didn't realize they added a new chat function without saying anything about it. At least not anything clear. I'm sure they did say something about it. I'm sure it's in the developer notes or patch notes or whatever, but I didn't see it when I was going over the update stuff before. So it says everyone, but no one responded, and I'm not seeing anyone else's. Okay, we definitely didn't need 12, unless the last one's going to be a horrible drop rate, which I don't think is going to be the case. Okay, that would make sense. English, but it might be for everyone if you have it set, because I know you could set different languages. I'm still trying to understand the point, though. I mean, is it an alternative to yell somehow? I don't know. Exactly, I don't know about it. You guys are telling me, you're like, what's this, you know, assisty chat or something? I don't know. Alright, so what's next? Hold on. Yeah, he's back where we were at before. Alright, so all is done this quest. Well, we've had the mentor thing before, but I don't think it was ever really used well. But that's cool that they're trying to add more features for that. Like I said, I'll have to do research on it and possibly, you know, make a video on it. Something else to add to my list. Really? So much for the stealth. All you guys are camping it. Alright, looks like we could have gone it first try, but... Yeah, sadly there is still RMT around. Royal Jelly too. Actually, I think that was one of the things that I did this back in the day for. I did it for cooking on my main. Might have been other reasons too, but I remember, yeah. I do remember going for him, trying to get Royal Jelly. Yep, I mean, yeah, I will sell them. No reason not to. If I get, what is it, 100%, it's going to be hilarious. Because, like I said, I remember doing this recently for something, for some other quest. And I literally had to leave. Because I didn't get one. I didn't do it as thief, though. I wasn't thinking. I was just like, oh, let me just go do it. Unless because of this quest they adjusted it to 100%. That's another option. They could have been like, alright, well let's implement this. No one really does this anymore. And let's make it 100%. That's an option too. Excuse me. 100% so far. Yeah, it is nice. There's a lot of exclusive gear that you can send to your mules and alts. Yep. Now I've been doing that for a very long time. Since back in 75 days, it's very nice. You almost exploit it now because you can get, you know. The interesting thing is you couldn't send anything with augments on it until recently. Like it's been within the last 6 months that they've made the change that you can now send to your alts augmented gear, which is really nice. So if you like level up your mules just to like 99 thief, just to like do various things and farm, and you don't get them access to say Ryzen Jima, you can actually send them augmented Ryzen Jima gear off of your main. And yeah, it's quite nice. They must have changed this, like, because I do remember doing this, and something wasn't 100%. But yeah, like I said, you couldn't send augmented gear before, but within the last 6 months, they made changes to it. If it ever had, like, the augments icon on it, you couldn't send it, but now you can, so. It was also interesting since you can't send, what is it, the Malig, or what, I don't even know how it's pronounced. The stuff from Lilith, this. The Malignance gear. You cannot send that. Because I was like, oh, okay, well, since I'm farming it now, I'm going to be spamming out, you know, very easy. Just in case I get another drop that I don't have, I might as well, you know, send it. That way, if I get another drop, it's like, eh. So now, you know, oh, my mule has it. But you can't. They thought of that ahead of time. They're like, nope, we're not going to let you, not going to let you send that gear. FFXI-R? You talking about the mobile game or whatever? If they're talking about the mobile game, the only mobile game that I know of is it's just supposed to be taking place in the 11 world, and it's in Japan only. I don't know if that's something else. I don't know. Would I check out another 11 game if it came out? That would really depend. I would probably wait, let the community see, and kind of see how time-consuming it is and what's the thought on it and everything. Because I think a lot of the things that are appealing to the people who like 11, because it is definitely a niche thing for 11. I don't think would go over well for just like modern gaming. I mean, obviously it would be implemented differently if it was a new game made now, and it would be interesting how they do it. And would it still have, if they did do that, would it have the charm that 11 has? Or would it end up being, I don't know, something that's a disappointment? Kind of like 14. Because one might argue that was trying to be like 11-2, but in a whole, obviously a whole new thing, whole new world. You could definitely tell because they made, well, the races are different. I mean, come on, they're still like Tarus, they're still Mithras. I know they're called different things, but let's be fair. It's basically the same races. Can't remember what the Gulkos are called, but it's basically Gulkos without tails. Like, it's the same 5 races for the most part. I mean, I know Mithras are like, what are they, like, I'm going to say mojitos, but I know it's not mojitos, but it's something like that. What is it? They're Lalafells or Tarus, but I mean, come on, it's basically the same thing. There is an HD mod pack, but that's only if you're using, like, window or in third-party programs, which is technically against terms of service. So, you'd say use that at your own risk, but if that's all you're using, you know, third-party programs for is just to make it HD and you're not using any, like, tools, add-ons that are going to be anything exploitive, you're not going to get banned. There's no way they would know you're doing anything anyway, but... So I would say you'd be pretty much 99.99999% safe if you were just using that, so... Well, cool. I'm glad I inspired you to come back. If you enjoyed 11, I think a lot of people would enjoy it now. Welcome back to the game, Prototype. Alright, so now I need to go trade this Roland Berry with someone else. Let's see if these white... He'll give you a white or a ripe white Roland Berry, so... Alright, so we're at F11. Yeah, I agree. That would be why most people would. Because you definitely get that, like, old feeling if you played back in the day. It's not exactly the same, because obviously you don't get the same, like, synergy that you had, like, building parties and doing stuff like Kieran, but I mean, the core of it's still there. It's just still not the same without the, not exactly the same without the people. It's still fun, though. You're not going to get banned if you're only using stuff like that. If it's just enhancing your maps and stuff like that. Because you could actually do things to enhance your maps without even using Windower. All you would need to do is, and I had friends that actually did that, is you replace the, literally whatever files in the game with different files that have the map markers on there. So you don't even need to use third-party programs to do that. Because other people do that also, is you just swap out like the music files with different music files. So like whatever it's going to point to play, say, the music out here in Roland Berry Fields, you could point it to another music file as long as it's the same type that the game will read, and bada bing, bada boom. So, and you're not using a third-party program, you just modified files on your computer. We got a ripe one. Let's get one of each. Yeah, the trust system is nice because you kind of needed it. The game definitely was... Really? You only give me ripe? Okay, so you can sell these also. Interesting. Now I'm interested, how much are they selling for? Not showing. Heck, we did all this. I'm just gonna trade them all. Is that all you're gonna give me is right, or is the ripe ones? Okay, there we go. I guess the ripe is HQ? I don't know. But you wonder how the game never will take an end for you, cloudchief? I don't understand what you're saying. What is this? Is there always things to do? I mean, if you like leveling up different characters and gearing characters up and like, you know, pushing yourself to do what you can do, yeah, there's way more than enough content, and considering they're still releasing content. Because this is new story stuff right here that I'm doing. This is brand new. So yeah, there's always plenty of stuff to do. It is just a massive game with all kinds of different things to do. Interesting that I got a bunch of ripe ones first and shook out to basically 50-50. Not quite, but... Alright. Yeah, that would be nice if they gave some sort of, if you could, yeah, tinker with their AI a little bit. I don't think it would be hard to do, but I don't think they're going to give us access to that. That would be cool, though. I don't think it would be too complicated. I think it should be limited with what they have, but it's like, you could do something like, okay, focus on this skill chain. Like, only do this weapon skill when you see this skill chain. That wouldn't be that hard to program. Like, they did the same thing in 12 with, was it the job board or whatever that thing is, so... It would definitely be possible. I just don't think they're going to do it, just to be honest. But I do think it is something that would be easily done and it could definitely be possible. Yeah, I just recently leveled up Bard. It's a good job. I still need to go get the, what was it? Get Honor March Heart. Giving you guys the nostalgia bug. What's that, Flaming Marcellus? I don't even know what that is. Now let me look it up. Oh, that's literally what I was talking about. The, for Honor March. I didn't realize it was called that. I didn't know what it's called, I just know what it does. I'll give you a ripe one. Oh, it's a horn also? I thought it was a harp. The final illusion? Huh. Oh yeah, like I said, I knew what it did. I knew why you want to get it and why it's a highly sought after thing. It's was it? You're gonna use? No, I'm sorry, I can't remember which haste, but yeah, it replaces one of your hastes, and considering it gives you yeah, accuracy and attack, along with haste, and it's just as good as the slow haste, or the weaker haste, I guess I should say. All right, so. That's my opinion about private servers. I have gotten that question a lot. So, I've not tried out Eden. It is one that I've wanted to just check out. My thought is, for me personally, I don't really have the time to invest in it. I've checked out multiple private servers, and like the only two that I know are what you mentioned and then Eden. One that you mentioned, I have lots of problems with, and I also just didn't like the community. The economy was all screwed up. There were tons of glitches, and everyone on there tries to act like, oh, we like it hard and like old school, and they don't even know what they're talking about with like what was old school and what's difficult. And then they'll be like, oh, and they'll be like, the guy who, set up the private server, implemented these things that are, quality of life changes. And it's like, no, that's because he's using the actual real life game client, and those you know, quality of life changes that you're trying to attribute to the private server owner is actually in the real game, and they just got implemented because it's uses the current version of 11. They just restrict stuff to make it like 75 days. So there's I've tried out other private servers where they're just trying to kind of do their own thing. It's not trying to be like 75-day classic. It's kind of trying to do its, you know, whole different thing where like Abyssea's endgame, but it's not like Abyssea in, you know, that was in retail. So, I mean, there's just a lot of different things, but it's without them having the actual server code. She pay. Whatever. Maybe should have clicked no, but I don't know. I'm just confused with what's going on through this anyway. But, yeah, so like I said, I've wanted to check out Eden. I wouldn't, even if I did check it out, I wouldn't, like, level a character past 50. I just don't have time for all that stuff. But I did want to check it out and then make a video about it, saying, you know, what my thoughts are. And if you wanted to go for that classic experience, does it live up to it or not? Like I said, every other server I have has not lived up to the experience. If I really wanted to try and do, well, I don't even think you can, but I'd say you're better off on retail and not going past the 75 cap if you're trying to go for that. And you could, with trust to some degree, try and do things like that. Maybe if you could get 6 friends that wanted to restrict yourself, that would be the closest experience you could get, is literally restricting yourself on here. The only thing that you could do is old school Dynamis. Outside of that, I mean, I just think the old 75 experience is gone at this point. I was on Azura. I left Azura, though. It's probably been well over a year now, so... Do I just talk to... Okay. Apparently I just talked to her again. Running off and... Oh, it was definitely toxic there. It was very, very toxic environment. Which is why, like I said, I won't even say their name on stream. Because I don't want to give them any credit, even though people can very clearly know what I'm talking about. But, yeah, I very much didn't like it. I remember I was actually farming elements out in Tarongi Canyon, just trying to farm clusters. And, I was out there for a while, at least an hour, was farming, and like some black mage comes out and he's trying to farm also. And it's like, okay, well, I was here first. I didn't say anything to him. He starts getting all like pissy, like, oh, why don't you go farm something else? It's like, dude, I was here first. It's like, I'm sorry that I'm beating you to the spawns, and that was the other thing, because they spawned, it's not like I could get all the spawns where they popped anyway. So, hold on. I'll finish my story in a second, but, kind of want to follow what's happening here. So, right, so yeah, so where the spawns were, because of jumping around, was, you know, trying to, so when I was, and I had Flea obviously being on Thief, I could hit some more, but obviously couldn't get them all depending on where he was going. So then he's trying to take the good ones where you're getting more, and it's like, dude, I was here first. And it's like, not like I started complaining to him or bitching at him, being like, oh, I was here first. Just like, okay, you're here, we can compete. A Black Mage is going to have a hard time competing with a Thief War, because I have Voke and Steel for claim. And he's got Stun at best. And so then he just started, like, you know, sending me tells and was, like, bitching, like, why didn't you go somewhere else? It's like, dude, I've been here for a while first. You started camping on me. And then he just was he was just getting toxic, and I was just like, dude, whatever. I'm like, you can try and compete if you want, but it's like, I'm not going to let you just push me out of the camp that I was here first. And he finally just got all upset and left, and he's like, I don't have anything else to farm, which is kind of bullshit. And like, you could go farm in other zones. I'm like, you're a Black Mage, you can nuke down elements. That's not really that hard. And then he ended up like saying, like, you could see, so it was like him, me, and one other person was like selling, you know, stacks of clusters. And he ended up basically being like, oh, I hope that whatever the third person is undercuts you. It's like, okay, so you're wishing that they're going to undercut yourself also. Because then, of course, later, you know, another day, saw he was back out there anyway. And that's just like one example. I could come up with so many different stories from the one that's been on there. It's just sad, the, like I said, the culture that's on there. I just hated it, but... "9 days too many?" But funny that that's a thing. I heard making these the crafting shields is ridiculous. I just find it funny when people would try and camp on top of you, and then they get upset when you're out claiming them. It's like, dude, you're the one being a dick trying to do something on top. I don't even say anything, and then you're bitching about the fact that you're trying to steal my camp, and then you're just failing at doing it anyway. And then you're going to be a sore loser about it. Sure. Finish here. The dew chamber. No, I agree. I even, what is it? For the server that I'm not going to name names, I actually ended up getting in a conversation with him, and he was just a complete dick. Because their stupid Chocobo circuit Which, again, they're like, no, you were never able to... They like, oh, we like it hard, and we like it old school like it used to be. Well, you didn't have, at level 1, the ability to warp between cities. Oh, but it's a quality of life. It's not quality of life. Like, get the fuck out of here. But, I remember, what is it? I went there, was going from one city to the other, went to the Chocobo Circuit, didn't know exactly how it worked, just set auto run and went, and I got stuck in like a ditch. And then so I'm like stuck. And I was going from, I think, like Bastock back to Windurst, and I was going to pick up a warp scroll there. That's another funny thing. I'll get into that in a second. So I didn't have a way to warp out, so then I go on their support, which is how I started talking to him, and then he starts being like, oh, well, you should have made sure you had a warp scroll. We say that because we have glitched areas. It's like, well, first off, you have a shitty area that's set up that you shouldn't have done anyway. Secondly, it's like, yeah, I went there from one area to the other. I was going to get a warp scroll when I went to the other place. I set it to auto run, not thinking I'm going to run into a ditch that you can't get out of. It's like, I didn't know. And it's like, and you're gonna, you're gonna shit on me for that? I'm like, I'm just asking for help. They eventually sent a black mage to come D2 me out of there. But, like, me and him got into it, and I was like, dude, your game's like crap. You have these, because you can't figure out how to implement BCNMs correctly. You've set these, they call them open world, OWNMs, which are just, wyverns, renamed whatever mob. It's not even renamed, it's just a big wyvern, and if you aggro it, you enter a BCNM, and I don't mean you enter like you go into another fight, you'll literally get the icon that you're in a fight, and then the thing will just like rape you, and they're just wherever the place, and there's no explanation about this. The Chocobo Circuit, you go there's no, if you go go to click the NPC to talk to, it'll just warp you. You don't even get like a dialogue box saying, this will warp you to Windurst or something. No indication, just go. You just gotta figure it out. And just like, him being like, oh, well, programming's hard. It's not that, yeah, programming is hard, but it's not that hard. It's just, you're lazy. The other funny thing is, they didn't want to implement XP rings because the current XP rings are It's 30,000 total experience rather than 3,000 experience. Because they try to be like, oh, well, we didn't have XP rings back in the day. When you did, you had Empress and Emperor's bands. But because he can't figure out how to take a 0 out of code, even if you have it where it says 30,000 extra experience and just drop the 0, so we had the 3,000 experience like back in the day, can't figure that out. Ooh. And then the other thing is, it's like, why not? And they're like, oh, you should have warp scrolls. You couldn't always just get a warp scroll back in the day. It was like 1,000 conquest points back in the day, which was a lot. Where do we need to go? I'll get back on my rant. East. Alright. And yeah, they're like, oh yeah, you should always carry a warp scroll around you, just like you did in old school, when people didn't carry warp scrolls around with them. Because it was a lot of conquest points back in the day. Yeah, I get it's 7 points now. And so when, again, you're playing even on private servers, it's not that big of a deal. But it's like, considering you're saying everyone should carry a warp scroll, why would you not then allow people to purchase warp rings? You want everyone to constantly go back to the NPC and get a warp scroll, but yet literally warp rings are there to pick up, but you've disabled for them to pick up, just like you disabled them to pick up, XP rings, because you don't know how to drop the 0 out of the code, so you're not getting as much of a bonus. It just blows my mind, like I said, just the sheer laziness, but yet they try and act like, oh my god, like, they act like he is a god, like, oh my god, he's the free 11 server god. It's... Well, you say blood warp, that's what we used to do, but it's like, in this Chocobo Circuit, which is kind of like a town, how are you blood warping when there's no mobs? Like I said, you're stuck in a ditch with nothing around you. But yeah, that's what we used to do back in the days. Yeah, you would blood warp or something like that. There were lots of different ways. Blood warp. Also, a lot of people just leveled black mage, so then you're in a place where you can switch jobs, just switch your sub job and warp. And there's a lot of ways to get around it, but people didn't carry around warp scrolls. Because again, it was a lot of conquest points back in the day. It wasn't discounted like it is today. Oh shit. I'm heading out and I didn't talk to the NPCs I needed to. I needed to talk to the 3 NPCs in Heaven's Tower that I did before. I'm going off on my little stories and getting distracted on what I need to be doing. Well, that's the other thing, and I know, what is it, that the server, whoever you want to call it, the guy who controlled the server, I know he gave a bunch of his friends a bunch of gear and a bunch of gil, and it screwed up the economy. The other thing is that you can like put up as many things as you want on the auction house, which again screws up the economy when you can just literally have 500 things on the auction house, and they'll try and be like, oh well, it's quality of life, even though, what is it? When you go and look, you can't go to sales status. I mean, you can, but that's only going to show 7 items, since you're going to have more. But if you go to then sales, or you go to sales status, it then breaks it, and you can't put anything else up for sale unless you zone, which was just weird. So it was like it never checked your sales status. And that was the other thing. I remember getting into an argument with a random person where there was like, I was like, it's a pain in the ass to try and make money for a new player on this server. And he's like, it's not that hard, you just spam out quests. Spamming out quests for like 100 to 200 gil per quest? Are you effing kidding me? Like, that's not a good way to go about making money, yet that's what they would suggest. Although if you're really smart, you would do what I do is, because there's no limit on how many things you can put up on auction house, there are plenty of items you can just buy off the auction house and literally turn around and sell to NPCs for a profit, which is what I did. And I remember saying to that guy, I'm like, yeah, most people don't know this, but you do a little bit of research, you can just buy things, turn around and sell for a profit. That's better than spamming out quests. Doing this quest 5,000 times just to make, you know, 50k gil. Alright, so let's talk to these guys again. So let's try this fight without trusts. But, I mean, if it's anything that's going to be like a challenge like the last fight in this, without trust it's going to be rough. Because I know, what is it, they would, they skill chain magic burst me, I think, the last time we were doing fights for this. So maybe I didn't need to come back here, but they just maybe gave you hints at where to go. Yeah, people still do that nowadays. I see stuff on the auction house that you can just buy off of NPCs for inflated prices, like just spells. You know, scrolls are a big thing for that. How did he give you? Oh, never mind. Because you're talking, it's private server, so yeah, he could just give it to you. I mean, I played, like I said, on a couple custom servers where, like I said, they did do their own thing, and I mean, I'll give them credit, it was unique, and it was cool that they kind of did their own thing, but it was just kind of like, you know, when I first started, because that's kind of, to be fair, private servers kind of got me back into Retail 11, because it was kind of like, well, actually, that's, I'm trying to remember now exactly how that went down. No, I think I went back to retail. Went to, was it my server? I did some things and then kind of ended up joining a link shell. Had a fallout with that link shell. Because the people there were being dicks in that link shell, except for 2 people. One was actually an old school buddy of mine. He was still great. And then the other guy, we'll just call him Lance. He was a cool dude. Everyone else is pretty much dicks in that shell, though. So then I think, I quit. Then started doing private servers for a while. Because I was like, free 11. But, they say you get what you pay for. And, like I said, I can't attest on how Eden is, but it's like... the other server, it's like, yeah, I kind of felt like it was, free in the dirty word sense, where it just kind of made you feel dirty. Like this isn't what I want. Like, also moving worms, when worms move, that was just jarring. Going outside Bastock and fighting, worms at level 1, and it's like, what the why is the worm moving? Oh my god, it's attacking me. What is going on? Yeah, I don't bother with private. I mean, obviously, if people are somewhat interested, they're going to check it out. But yeah, I recommend against it. Now, again, I don't know how Eden is. Apparently, people say Eden's great. But I mean, I still think it's going to have some of the faults that the other ones have. Maybe it has less, but I don't know. Like I said, I'd like to check it out at some point, just for the sake of checking it out. We gotta hit the J8. Alright. We're looking for some dirt pile or something. Alright, let's see if I'm gonna get my ass kicked. I'm gonna Aeolian Edge to try and get 8, and then I'm gonna perfect dodge, and we'll see if that works. Ouch. Where's my cure macro? Wasn't as bad as I was expecting it was going to be. First try, no trusts. Good night, Joshua. All right. So I'm quite confused. Obviously, I'm sure, because that should be it. I mean, we got one final cutscene, but that's it for the new missions. But I'm just kind of confused how this ties into all the stuff that happened with Bastok, with the, like the Gulka kid and everything. I'm sure there is some tie that we find out later. But it's just a little confusing. I'll have to go see how much those white Roland berries are worth, see if I made a profit. Well, I'm sure I made a profit. I mean, it cost me what? Outside of time, it was what, 1,200 gil? Why did I go to Waters? Habit. Walls. That's understandable. The thing about it is, and we'll see if it actually shakes out that way, but they said they're going to release them all the way up until the 20th anniversary. So, that's like what? 16 months? So, it'll be interesting to see how that shakes down, and then they're going to have something new, so it's like, maybe you want to start doing them right before, so that way you're basically done with them when whatever big is coming out for the 20th anniversary. And I can totally see reasons waiting for that till then. Because so far, we'll see also. I mean, there might be something change along the way that would make you want to do it for some sort of reward or access to some content that has some good reward. But yeah, as of now, you're not really getting, it's all minuscule rewards out of it. Although that stack of omelets, that's some really good tank food. I've actually been buying, because people turn around and selling them, I've been buying those omelets. Because supposedly the recipe was released, or not released, was put in the game so you can craft them. And there's +1s in the data files, but no one knows what the recipes are. At least as of an update or two. Maybe they changed it and fixed that? I don't know. Yeah, they said they have something big for the 20th anniversary, but no one knows, so I think it's going to be some type of expansion, likely with, you know, some new jobs, but we'll see. Yeah, working on Mythic is a lot of work. And what is it? White Mage's Mythic is ridiculous. Yeah, I don't get it either, so. Yeah, assaults are definitely a lot. But yeah, if you play White Mage, having White Mage as Mythic, I did not mean to talk to you. It's definitely invaluable. So what is this? wish there was a skip cutscene, because I didn't want to get this. Or back out of a cutscene. I mean, there is. It's called, you know, Control-Alt-Delete, but I'm not trying to go through all that. Alright, so after we get out of this, we'll go do some Mog Garden. And I was actually getting some requests about that. There's not really much to it. You just basically need to go in there and do stuff every day. I can look up and let you guys know. There's 2 particular items I've needed so far. I mean, I'm sure there might be some more along the process. And I will make a video guide about it at some point, but that'll be probably when I've like gone through all the main stuff and I know exactly, have it all outlined. I will have to look up what those items are. There's so it's like a super bait ball or something like that. You wanna no. I don't want to sign up for a conflict. It's something like it's a super bait ball or something you can buy and then you put it as bait in your pond. And it'll give you like a high chance of getting an item you need to turn in for part of like the quest line for your Mog Garden. And then there's another item you want to put in your net that allows you to get a coin that you then trade to your Moogle and your Mog Garden that allows you to start getting assistance and starts that. And you need to start getting assistance before you can start doing monster rearing, because you need to start that quest line. So, like I said, I'll look them up and let you guys know exactly what they are before I end the stream. But like I said, I want to keep going through and try and make a guide as clear as possible what you need to do for this. And I'm sure, I'm sure at some point I'll get a comment on this or something else, be like, what? You just NPC'd that? That's worth whatever value. I'm not even bothering, because at this point I'm just trying to rank up as fast as possible. And it's not that hard to make gil, so I know I'm throwing away some gil just by NPCing like all the stuff I'm getting from Mog Garden, but I honestly don't care. I care more about ranking up, because I want I want Yagnus, and I want like making my trust stronger through the key items is the main reason I'm doing this. So making a little bit of extra gil, I just don't really care. So I will say that, but I'm sure someone's going to be like, oh my god, you NPC'd that, you could have sold that for 10k instead of getting 600 gil. Yeah, whatever. I really don't care. So, basically you have all these different stations that you do stuff. This, you need to trade some sort of seed. I traded a bag of grain seeds. And it's every about 8 hours you can harvest. I only do it once a day, because I only come in here once a day. And so there are the items. And you can see, like, there's still stuff there. And I say I can do it 3 more times before I'll have to put new seeds in. And you can tell these are ready for harvest, and those are the, like, short ones. I have the assistant set to, like, help with the grain stuff. Cool. August is really good. How much crap do I have to NPC? Actually, I have all those crawler eggs. I can get rid of these crystals too. The other nice thing is, like the seeds for planting here, you can get from the Moogle. So, I know I could get money for silk thread and all those crawlers, whatever. So that's basically what I do, is I go around to each station, do all the things that you need to do, and then just sell most of the stuff. There's some things that I might hold on to, so I'm just going to sell the royal jelly. Could have probably sent it to my main, because there's high level crafts and I still need to level that up, but So pretty much you just want to come, if you're trying to level up your Mog Garden, come in here and go and interact with all this stuff. So this is where you would get the coin that I was telling you about, but you have to bait it with something. I'll look it up before I end the stream and find out exactly what it is you're baiting. Yeah, I think it's much easier for the trusts that you get from the quests from leveling up your trusts. I think it's much easier just to get them from Sinister Reign, if you have access to Sinister Reign. Some people haven't gone through all the add-on stuff, so I mean, any way you can get them. Cool. Black Soul. See, like, I should, in theory, hold on to that or send that to my main for sushi, but make some soul sushi. But again, don't care, just doing this in the interest of time. So now I gotta come over here. And whenever I'm doing like these or like the mineral vein, I always do the multiple pruning. So you're not doing it however many times. Like I can do it 13 times. Well, sadly I did the multiple and only did it once. You know, we did 4 that time. Just trying to get this done as fast as possible. Yeah, it's not that bad, and plus the you get the Adeline ring. You get to choose an Adeline ring, and all the rings are really good. So I think it's worth getting through. Plus, you get access to various content. Like you have to do it for Sinister Reign. You're gonna have to do it for Vigari. You have to either go do the Vigari bosses or go do Vigari itself. For you to upgrade Empyrean armor. So that's another reason to do it. Go trade those crystals. A Gudo cherry, could use that to make a Gudo drink. Needed earlier, but and then here's where, like I said, I think it's the super bait ball. I don't know, like I said, we'll look it up. Yeah, Wings of the Goddess is long. I agree. I'm glad to finally have it done. I find it hilarious that Cloudchief was done it, and haven't finished going through them on cloudchief yet. I was actually talking with my one friend who hasn't gone through them. We're supposed to sit down and go through them together at some point. It was interesting. So now that I've had some time to digest, and I mean, I don't need to sit down and really think about the how I compare it to other missions in terms of story. Because when I said before, when I was in the middle going through it, I was like, it starts off slow and was kind of boring. Then it got really interesting. But then I feel like it got interesting, and then it just kind of like ended. And it was like, there was so much more you could have done with some of the interesting stuff where they were going, where you just kind of like didn't do anything with it. It kind of just, like I said, just ended. I was just kind of like, what? So, I don't know. I kind of have mixed feelings about Wings of the Goddess as a whole. I'm glad to have it done. But in terms of like the overall story, like I said, I feel like they had so much more potential there that they could have done with it, and I just feel a little disappointed by it. Yeah. Like I said, it started off boring, and I was like, it just didn't have my interest, which is why I just never really did it. And I'm like, what's the point? Oh, I get an earring at the end where you can put some augmented stats that are, I mean, it's nice, but it's like, is it really worth going through it? Obviously it was worth going through it for the drops you get from the Lilith high tier battle. That's really was what made me go through it. But yeah, like I said, got through when you're about, I don't know, somewhere between 50 to 75%. Like I said, the story got really interesting. Anyone who hasn't gone through it, I don't really want to give away any spoilers or anything, but there was just, yeah, like I said, just with the multiple timelines, and then with like Lilith's father, like, they could have done so much more with it, and it was like, why did you guys just like not do anything with this? It was really interesting, and you didn't do anything with it. Like, just missed potential. And what is it? I think someone in my stream told me that I wasn't aware of, that the people who did Chrono Cross, and Chrono Trigger is like my favorite RPG of all time. So I was very disappointed with Chrono Cross. And they said Chrono Cross, or was it, people who did Wings of the Goddess are the people who did Chrono Cross. And then going through now, I can see it, and I'm like, you had so much potential for what you could do, and it was just such a letdown, just a disappointment. I feel the same thing about both of them. It's just kind of, so yeah, so that was all the Mog stations. So if you're just doing the Mog Garden stuff, everything you saw me hit is everything you need to rank up. There is something else I can check just for items, but there's no rank up for that. The other thing I do recommend, so you can store crystals, you can turn, when you first zone in, you'll get these like GPS stars that'll indicate every game or every real life day you come in, you'll get a star. Right now the campaign's going, so I'm getting 2 stars, and so you'll store them up. So you can burn, like, I think it's 15 stars to get one of these guys. It's so worth it, rather than having to go to a guild, that I can just turn in all my crystals right here. So definitely worth picking it up. And then the flotsam, this will just give you some random items. It's going to give me 2 items. And didn't give me anything interesting, so just NPC that stuff. It all comes full circle now. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it is best in slot, and even back in 70, well, it wasn't 75, but was it? Because it was Abyssia days when they finished it. Like, level cap was raised, but I mean, I do get it. It's. What is that? But I mean, even if you're gonna say it's best in slot, in terms of 11, I never really liked that term. But anyway, we'll say it's best in slot in some sets. And it's easier to obtain gear. Is it really that much of a downgrade? Like, is it really that much better that it's worth going through all that? Again, talking about back in the day before we had the high tier battle Lilith fight where you get all that good gear in there. So take that out of the equation. That doesn't exist. The high tier battle doesn't exist. Is it really worth all that effort to go through all the storyline just for that slight upgrade for your earring, for your weapon skill piece? I didn't think it was worth it, which is why I never did it. That's my personal opinion. Because that's a lot of time, energy, and effort for, like I said, a slight upgrade to some weapon skills. Not even all of them. You even said to some. Just, yeah. Oh, you can get some good, you can even get like 100 currencies. Like you can get like jade shells and 100 vine bills. You can definitely get some good things from the float zone, but it's just kind of eh. So then I just now, so that, like I said, so that was all the Mog Garden stuff. So, well, here, let me find. Yes, I feel about the term also. Yeah, I do understand best in slot and using it in some games, but in terms of 11, there's so many things you can do, and I do get it. Some items are considered best for that slot for certain situations. I get it. But we have so many gear options, and there's so many different things you can do unique, just to make how everyone's like, oh, I gotta have everything best in slot. I don't like that, and you definitely don't need to have best in slot for everything. Like I said, I do get it that there's stuff here for that, but there is gear that fits into that, but I just don't like, I don't like that term. You definitely don't need, you can definitely do everything in this game without best gear. That even like reminds me, there was a video, I'm not going to say who, it was done by someone else who was making YouTube stuff, where he basically made the comment, he was like, you know, he's like, we have all this really good gear, and we don't have anything, you know, that can really challenge us in really difficult gear. And I just wanted to, like, it's like, dude, do you not understand? 11 has never been challenging if you have people equipped on the right jobs, all in the best gear in the game, and all know the strategy and know exactly what they're doing. The game's never been challenging, and it shouldn't be challenging for that group of people like that. Because if it's challenging for you, when you know the strats, you know exactly what you're doing, you're coordinated, and you all have the best in gear, and it's challenging, then what chance does someone have who doesn't have all the stars and everything aligned? It's like, 11's never been challenging if you're in that position. But the whole point is you're working on getting people geared up and stuff like that. So the fact that you are all set so you have all the best gear and then you're like, I don't feel challenged, you shouldn't be. It's like, what? Then start doing stuff solo. Start trying to solo omen bosses in your ridiculous gear. Start making things difficult for yourself so you're feeling challenged. That's just my thoughts on that. Anyway, so let me find what those items were. It was the Moat Cart Creole that you need to get that needs to come out of here. And that's for, in the quest line, it's Hypnotic Hospitality. And it's the Super Bait Ball. Jeez, good memory. So what you would need to do is you need to go pick up the Super Bait Ball, and then you would just trade it to this, and then you would have a chance of getting the Moat Cart Creole out of there the next real life day. So you would have to wait till the next day after you traded it. And you, like I said, you need this for the Mog Garden quest line, if you're trying to do all the Mog Garden stuff. You can get the Super Bait Ball from an NPC that's outside the Inventors Guild for bail, for about 7,500 bail. It's Celiato. I'm probably even saying that wrong. It's Ceciliottte. If you, like I said, go to the Inventors Coalition in West Adelan, she's like basically outside of the whole coalition. You'll see, basically, if you're coming from the Biv, you basically want to just turn around, like don't go into the coalition, and she should be up against the wall. And so that's where you can buy the super bait ball. It took me 2 to get the item, so I didn't get it first time I tried it. So basically you would want to bait that. There's also, I've seen it said, but I've not seen it since I've needed it, that you can get it for login points for cheap. But again, when I needed it, it didn't have it, so I had to go about this way to get it. So then, so that's one of the 2 items that I've needed so far in my quest of doing Mog Garden stuff. And then trying to remember what you need to do for the coin. And then, like I said, you need to bait this, but apparently it's 100%. Whatever you bait this with is 100% to get the rustic coin, so you can start the whole assistant thing. Yeah, hiring an assistant. And you need to get an assistant to start monster rearing. And monster rearing is how you get key items to like power up your trust or give you more capacity points, more experience points. There's all kinds of different buffs, skill up rates, and there's all kinds of really good different buffs you can get from monster rearing. Where is it? Well, apparently you could also turn in, I'm seeing here on this page, those GPS crystals that I was saying like you could get for the Moogle over here to turn in crystals. You can get other things for it too. Apparently you can get a super bait ball for 10 of those, but I think the bailed's a better way to go. 7,000 bailed's easier than 10 days of logging in here. Although it's not like I'm using my I'm not really using my crystals for much else anyway. Here we go. Still... Okay, so you need the rustic coin, and that's what I'm saying. So how do you get this? So, okay, so it's the Coalition Chum that you need to bait. And it's actually that same NPC that you can buy for 7,500 bail. So that same exact NPC, you buy both the items. So the Coalition Chum, you would trade here, and that's going to get you the rustic coin to start. You then, once you get the rustic coin, and that's a 100% drop after you trade it, you trade the rustic coin to the your green thumb Moogle, and that'll start the quest line to actually get your assistant. And once you get the assistant, you'll get him. And there's other assistants you can get. They'll start the quest line so you can start doing monster rearing. I'm only rank 1 monster rearing right now, so I can't say much into it, but you can see I already have a mature tree. It started out as a sapling. So, and then basically you want to come over to your monster and you want to interact with it every day. The best thing that I've seen for the tree, the sapling, is you want to slap it every day for whatever reason. And you want to give it fiend blood. So we're going to interact with it. So we're going to slap it. You can see it strongly resonates with the tree. And then I bought a stack of fiend blood. Where is it? Give it that. It strongly resonates with the tree. So let's see how he's doing. He should be doing. He's bursting with joy. He was pretty miserable at first, but I think that's always going to be the case. And yeah, it's still growing. So that's it for what you need to do for Mog Gardens, but then I still go and check every day to see if I can upgrade any of them. So it's this guy for fishing, and you can either tell him to fish or put on your gardening. I put him on the gardening because I didn't really care for fishing. I cared more about getting this leveled up since this is my lowest rank thing here. And so I put him on that thinking it might level it up. I'm not saying it does. It levels him up every faster. From my understanding, it just allows me to harvest it more a day. So in theory, I could level it up faster by coming and harvesting it more, but that would be me coming in here more often every day, and I don't really, you know, I probably should, but I don't. So then the last thing is you need to leave and you need to go talk to a Moogle skipper or a Mog skipper. They're in all the city ports. I don't know where they are in Bastock and Sandy, but I know it's in port. But the one in Windurst is by the fishing guild. And hopefully he has something to rank up so he can show you. But otherwise, even if he doesn't, it'll just say, oh, I don't have any books. So, and if he does, it'll literally just show you which books you can buy. You just select it, and it does cost gil. They do get quite expensive as you get higher up in ranks. They're cheap at low levels, so. So yeah, the Skipper Moogle. So we talked to him. Like, why they don't have it, you can't talk to, like, your Green Thumb Moogle, I don't know. But you can see he talks about Mog Gardens. So you go all the way to the bottom, what Mog Garden books are available. So he doesn't have any in stock. But that's how you rank up. So, and my understanding is, because I came here and he had all the stuff, well, not for all the stuff, but I was able to get quite a few things in my Mog Garden directly from rank 1 to rank 3. So even if you don't come here, if you keep doing your Mog Garden every day, I think you're still getting the progress. I don't know if it slows after a certain point until you rank it up or whatever, but even if it stays at rank 1 and doing it every day, you're still making progress past, say, rank 2. Obviously, you're best to rank it up as soon as possible because you're going to get more items. And even if nothing else, that's making more money through NPCing from getting more items. But that's how you do Mog Garden. I can't really speak into anything about getting the key items from doing monster rearing because you need to be rank 2 in monster rearing, and I'm still rank 1. I only started monster rearing like last week because I hadn't unlocked it until then. So 10, yeah, there is an NPC that you can get the key items in Adeline, and that can cost you Bailed rather than Gil. If you're buying it from the Moogle skipper here, or the Skipper Moogle, being a little dyslexic here, it costs Gil for the key items, but I know there is, let's look it up since we're already going over all this. There is an NPC in Adeline that you can buy all of the key items for bail. Yeah, so it's like 10,000 for rank 1, 20,000 for rank 2, 40,000 for rank 3, 80,000 for rank 4, 160,000 for rank 5, and 320,000 for rank 6. And when I'm saying that, I said rank 1, it's really going from rank 1 to rank 2. So when I said rank 6, it's really going from rank 6 to rank 7. So, oof. So I'm like at rank 5. So I'm somewhere between 127 times to 256. And you gotta do it 512 times? Well, that's gathering from your garden. So you have to do your garden 512 times. I guess I really do need to start doing it like 3 times a day, because that's ridiculous. Wasn't aware of that. Oh, but then again, okay, well, yeah, I guess I need to do that because I'm only gathering it from once every day. I'm seeing here, what is it? So the Grove, 750 times, but I think doing the multiple prunings, I think that's counting for each time. Same thing, Mineral Vein, 750 times. So it's only 80 times for the pond and then out of the ocean. And then care for your creature 100 times for max rank. Okay, anyway. Yeah, alternatively, you can purchase these items for Baled from Zeneca. Let's see where Zeneca's at. Zeneca is in Western Adelan at E6, near the Pioneers Guild. And actually, I remember going and talking to her about something else. She's actually, like, across from the Pioneers Guild. I think she's not far from where the home point is, near the Pioneers Coalition. Keep saying Guild Coalition. But, yeah, so you could do Baled. So it's 1,000 for rank 1 to rank 2, 3,000, 5,000, 7,000, 9,000, 11,000 Baled. So if you'd rather not burn like 300k Guild for each one, 11,000 Baled as a difference. Let me even see. How much Baled do I have? Although I have plenty of copper vouchers I could always turn in for Baled. Baled might be the better way to go, just to save my gil. So yeah, maybe I'll start doing Baled instead. But again, not everyone has all that Baled. So again, but it's nice to have options. But yeah guys, that's about it. You had 5 books to buy, but to be fair, that was over multiple like, I shouldn't have, I don't think you went from rank 1 to rank 5. That would be actually pretty amazing if you did, but, you should have hopefully gotten multiple ranks from that. So, yeah. So let me go over. Yeah, so it's kind of annoying that, like, it's like you're in your doing all your stuff in your Mog Garden, now you gotta go out to some other random NPC just to rank up your Mog Garden. It's kind of weird. Why they did it that way, I don't know. But so that's what I do every day. I'm probably gonna keep doing it every day until probably I'm about rank 3, and I know I've gotten some recent upgrades on the other stuff. Then I might start doing it like once a week. But at this point, I'm still going to be checking it every day since my monster rearing is still rank 1, and you still go to the like skipper or the NPC in wow, why am I like spacing out? Out in Adelan. You just go to either one of those NPCs and you rank up either one. Or buy the books to rank up your Mog Garden and monster rearing from either one of them. Wow. So yeah, guys. Hey Alphonse, what's up? What's up as this stream is wrapping up for the night. We just finished doing the new Voracious Resurgence missions, and then I basically just went over and did my daily Mog Garden for the day. And kind of went over, for anyone who's interested in doing Mog Garden, kind of what you need to know to get started and get pretty going for a while. So Obviously, the items, you guys can make your own decisions what you do with the items. Like I said, for me, in just the interest of time, I just NPC it all. Don't care, I just NPC it all. But that's me. I can see someone taking the time and making stacks and selling it and actually making decent profit off of it. So, if that's what you want to do, more power to you. But, it does take a while to load, that is for sure. But, yeah, guys, so I'm gonna wrap up for the night. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for supporting the channel. There won't be a stream next week because it's Turkey Day. So happy early Thanksgiving to everyone. Hope everyone's safe considering we got a raging pandemic going on out there. So be smart and be safe as you're doing whatever it is you are doing for Thanksgiving. But hope you guys have a good day, or a good Thanksgiving. And hope you can find some things to be thankful for. As bad as this year's been, I actually have quite a few things personally that I'm thankful for, like my job and everything. My job's never been better for me personally, so take some time and just think, as bad as this year's been, try and find some good stuff you've been, even if you've been struggling. I think that will help, and I think people will be blessed out of that. But we'll try and plan in 2 weeks from now. I'll go back and we'll do some more Omen boss attempts. And hopefully we can clear Jin and then maybe make some Ken attempts. Still haven't cleared him solo, but I haven't even tried any Omen bosses since streaming last week. But we'll see if I might make some attempts between now and next stream. I'll let you guys know anyway. But yeah. Have a good night, guys, and again, enjoy your Thanksgiving, and may you guys have success in all you do.